Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are diving into something absolutely fascinating. We're looking at how elite, highly advanced military concepts can actually be seamlessly translated into a playbook for kids. Yeah, you heard that right. We're breaking down Jocko Willink's Way of the Warrior Kid. Now, this isn't just your typical story about a kid getting stronger. It's really a masterclass in taking Navy SEAL principles, stuff like extreme ownership and disciplined execution, and applying them to everyday childhood struggles. So, if you've ever wondered how to build true, lasting resilience, well, you're definitely in the right place. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Wimpy Kids Problem. 2. Enter the Navy SEAL. 3. Redefining the Warrior. 4. Discipline equals freedom. And finally, 5. The Warrior Kid Code. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The Wimpy Kids Problem. Meet our protagonist, Mark. He's a fifth grader who is currently experiencing what he feels is just a complete and total disaster of a year. He's getting shoved right out of a crowd by the playground bully, Kenny, for everyone to see. But Mark's struggles aren't just physical. He is completely failing at pull-ups in gym class, he is absolutely terrified of the water so he can't swim, and academically, he doesn't even know what 8 times 7 is. He literally feels entirely helpless across every single spectrum of his life. He actually calls it the worst year ever. Mark is just in this state of absolute despair. He is totally overwhelmed by all his inadequacies. And the real psychological weight here comes from his dread. He's completely terrified that 6th grade is going to be even worse, mostly because he has zero framework for how to actually change his reality. Moving to Section 2. Enter the Navy SEAL. To really grasp the scale of Mark's journey, we have to look at the stark contrast. On one side, we have Mark, 0 pull-ups, struggling in math, can't swim. On the other side, his Uncle Jake comes to stay for the summer. And Uncle Jake is a Navy SEAL. He can easily do 47 pull-ups, he learned exactly how to ace academic tests during his SEAL training, and he can pretty much handle himself in any situation whatsoever. The gap between them just seems impossibly vast. Naturally, Mark perceives this gap as a superpower. He basically pictures Uncle Jake as a literal superhero in a cape, just assuming Jake was born this way. Like he won the genetic lottery. But Jake immediately shuts this down. He firmly tells Mark, look, I wasn't born like this. I had to work for it. I had to learn it. I had to earn it. Which brings us to Section 3, Redefining the Warrior. So when Jake tells Mark that he can actually become a warrior kid, Mark is totally confused. He thinks warriors just fight in wars, right? But Jake offers this really profound redefinition. He explains that a warrior is someone who stands up for themselves. They face challenges head-on. They work hard to achieve goals. And most importantly, they have the discipline to overcome their own weaknesses. It's really a mindset of personal accountability, not just a profession of combat. And this completely reframes Mark's worldview. He is entirely baffled. Because as Jake points out, a normal kid just cries about their problems, right? But a warrior kid actually does something about them. This is that major light bulb moment where Mark learns that his weaknesses, whether it's math, pull-ups, or that playground bully, they aren't permanent personality traits. They're simply problems waiting for a disciplined solution. Section 4. Discipline equals freedom. Now, understanding the warrior concept is one thing, but actually living it, that is a whole different ballgame. After about a week of hard work, Mark's motivation completely fades. He just wants to sleep in, maybe be the warrior of sleeping. So how does Uncle Jake respond? Well, with a broomstick and a metal garbage can. It's a harsh, jarring wake-up call, perfectly illustrating that adopting this new mindset is absolutely not going to be a gentle or comfortable process. When Mark complains that he just wants a little freedom to watch TV and relax, Uncle Jake delivers a really hard truth. Freedom isn't free. You just cannot rely on fleeting motivation. Motivation is going to fail you 50% of the time. What actually keeps you getting out of bed, grinding on that pull-up bar, and facing your fears is discipline. Doing the hard things consistently is literally the only thing that buys you true freedom in life. It comes down to this. The path is simple, but it is absolutely not easy. There are no magic tricks here when it comes to self-improvement. Staying on the path requires forcing yourself to do what you actively do not want to do in the moment. It means waking up when you desperately want to sleep or skipping the junk food when you're craving it. It's very simple logic, but it demands incredibly intense execution. And that leads us to Section 5, the Warrior Kid Code. By the time the end of the summer rolls around, Mark has fully internalized all of his mentor's lessons. He takes total, extreme ownership of his journey. He even designs this awesome logo for himself. He basically consolidates all of his newly earned physical and mental strength into his very own personal code of conduct to live by. Let's walk through this brilliant framework together. 1. Wakes up early. 2. Studies to learn and asks questions. 3. Trains, exercises, eats right. 4, and this is a big one, he doesn't just train for himself. He trains to know how to fight so he can protect the weak. 5, treats people with respect. 6, keeps things neat and ready for action. 7, stays humble. 8, works hard and does his best. And finally, 9, I am the warrior kid. This isn't just a list. It is a holistic, incredibly actionable framework for human development. And these lessons go really deep. Mark actually writes this whole code out in a thank you letter to Uncle Jake. What this shows us is that Navy SEAL discipline isn't just about physical fitness. It translates universally. It applies just as much to studying math and treating people with respect as it does to doing jiu-jitsu or eating healthy. There's this amazing moment when Mark finally does his very first successful pull-up. Uncle Jake stops him from celebrating too early and delivers this incredibly profound line, "This is about everything." Because that pull-up isn't just a physical feat, it's tangible proof. Conquering one single weakness, like the pull-up bar, proves to Mark's brain that he possesses the exact disciplined methodology required to conquer absolutely any weakness in his life. The end result here is a completely transformed Marc. He's no longer hiding in the crowd, no longer just a victim of his circumstances. He is standing tall, he's confident, and he's proud. He didn't just stumble upon this strength, he manufactured it. He earned it, drop of sweat by drop of sweat, through the unwavering, everyday application of discipline. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want you to really think about something. Uncle Jake told Marc that you don't actually need a Navy SEAL living in your house to walk this path. The path is right there for anyone willing to take it. So, how are you going to stay on the path of discipline today? Whether it's an intimidating project at work, a new fitness goal, or maybe a bad habit you really need to break, how will you stay on the path? Because remember, discipline equals freedom. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.